Today, we're talking about the exciting matchup between the Charlotte Hornets and the Detroit Pistons. The Charlotte lead the Pistons record again 16-4 with that change, where LaMelo Ball and Brandon Miller aim to bounce back against Cade Cunningham and the Pistons squad. Will Charlotte maintain their impressive record, and or can Detroit surprise us? We'll also analyze key players, expected lineups, and possible strategies. Also, coming up, today's top games to watch and the NBA schedule all today on Fans Home Basketball.
Artlist.io.
Hi, and welcome today to Fans Home Basketball Podcast. This is your host, Lou, and today we'll be talking about a little bit about the Hornets versus the Pistons. The current Hornets record is 2-5 against the Pistons, who is 5-1, I believe, which are doing really good. Today we'll be talking about how it's a must win for the Hornets, and has to be a bounce back game for LaMelo and Brandon Miller. As time goes by, as the season goes by, we understand that the Hornets do have some center issues and maybe some depth issues at sometimes, but they do need to have the ability to turn on the switch and come back. Now, this is crucial. This is a crucial game because this is kind of like the one Eastern rivalry that they always want to. There's one building up against the current champion Celtics where they're taking things personal. Against Timberwolves, that's always one, and that's just because of the figures that they have as their franchise players going into Lamelo and Anthony Edwards. So it would definitely be one of those games where Cade, you wanna put Cade against Lamelo, Brandon Miller, but it is a bounce back. It's a must win for the Hornets, which they can do if they come back to playing like how they play against the Rockets with pace, moving the ball, and being able to get down under the paint and get some shots. The shooting threes is gonna be a huge thing um, for them, and they need to. Um, they do need to go ahead and get that under control. They shoot like around what average from 40 shots of 33, uh, f- 43 shots uh during game, and that's something that if they were to go down those, you know, it's just hard to contextualize that. Just knowing that the Hornets have all the components, and the struggles are, you know, just the shooting, defense, uh, foul trouble for Lamelo, Brandon Miller getting to the point, and this is one of those games that might not seem important, but coming down the stretch for a possible play-in against, Pistons, Indiana, these are tiebreakers, um, and they do need to, uh, take in consideration having to win these games. They have to. It's a must-win. Today, coming from back-to-back 3 losses back-to-back, they were tough losses, but the team played well, so there is some kind of hindsight, silver lining there that they can look after in terms of what the team has going on. Now, the center is always going to be an issue today with the Hornets. It's haunted house from last 2 seasons. There's no center since becoming a fan of the Hornets. I have not seen them have a legit NBA center. Now, Cody Seller and Bismack Biyombo were always good, but they were not, really good centers. Now they always had the ability to trade for one, trade for like Miles Turner type of likes, but um, maybe it's a good time to look into some free agents, coming some vets there, some vets that might be able to help out in the center in the meantime. Get them into a minimum 10 minimum vet contract, get some experience there and help them build, get some character. There are some options that we'll be talking about in the next video. Might be a good possibility for centers, but that's what they need to do today. They need to get into the habit of understanding that this is uh, They have to take it. Even they have to want to win. It's a must win. It's a must win every time. It's a must win when it comes to these type of games. Maybe it doesn't matter to the team, but it should, right? But now I'm not saying that it doesn't show. Like they care, they do care. They get pissed, and Lamelo showing and Brandon Miller showing signs of taking this losses serious. Um, and I think a lot of the fall trouble for Lamelo is probably the incompetence of feeling that he can't do nothing to turn this around. Like he balls out, he does 36 points, but he can't do everything on the floor, and maybe he feels alone and kind of like what Coach Charles Lee said, trusting the other person, trusting to come back. That's going to be something to keep an eye on. Now, these games are always fast, energetic, high scoring. I don't expect a lot of defense from any of those teams, but I do expect them to go ahead and have something, a good scoring, high scoring show. Now, for the Hornets, it's a if they come in, they can come in and pedal score those seven, do a high scoring game. Melo can come in and typically these games against the Pistons, when he's healthy, these are his bread and butter. These are where like he gets his foot underneath. Now he has been playing insanely good on the offensive side. This would be a good game to kind of start tweaking those defensive small details that matter at the end of the day over the whole picture. Um, I foresee the Hornets probably winning. Honestly, gonna be honest, I see the Pistons blowing out the Hornets, even though I'm a Hornets fan, and it pains me to say that. But just based on the structure that they have going on, how they've been coming playing now, I do want them to win. It's a must. It's a must-win game for them. But I do not see them winning this game. It's gonna be very difficult. I'm hoping, and it all comes down to Lamelo, right? If Lamelo starts hot, and everybody else around him starts hot, then it's going to be a blow up for the Hornets. But if they start slow shooting, it's going to be a terrible night for us Hornets fans. In terms of, yeah, you can laugh at us all you want. We'll be there. We will always be watching the Hornets. Um, as things goes by, as the season goes by, we're still hoping that we at least make the playing team. All right, that is all for this segment. We'll be back with the games, all the games that are coming up, games to watch, and predictions. Again, on Fan Zone Basketball. Let's go. Artist I. Welcome back here to Phantom Basketball. Again, my name is I'm your host Lou. Going to talk about today of games to watch. Games to watch today. There are a lot of great games that we can pay attention to today in terms of the schedule. I'll go real quick, go around them in terms of what we have going on and our predictions for today's game. So starting with the today, and again, all of these you can go ahead and watch them through the NBA League Pass, or your local, whatever your local channel is. We'll go ahead and start with the Pistons versus the Hornets at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Again, you heard my kind of thoughts behind that. Well, I think it could go either way. I do see it being a high scoring game. So yeah, this is a game to watch. Yeah, every time you hear that song, it's a game to watch. I'm still kind of working out the details in terms of whether we do it before or after, but this is one game to watch. Magic Pacers. Now, if Paulo Banquero was in the team in the Magic without that unfortunate injury, then I would say this is a game to watch. But unfortunately, even though the Pacers are playing horrible, I believe the Pacers are going to take the win. Might be a 10-point difference, but yeah, Magic versus Pacers. Pacers will take the win on this one. Then, a game to watch. Sorry. Now, this is the game of the night: Warriors versus Celtics, early on at 6:30 p.m. Yes, Warriors versus Celtics. This is a one of those games that you cannot miss. This is a game that you want to watch. I see the Celtics. Um, I actually see this game going in overtime, and the Warriors just coming in clutch. I don't know if Steph Curry is coming back. They should believe his time frame was this game, but yeah, he'll definitely come. They'll definitely come back. Warriors versus Celtics game to watch for sure. Give me a second there. Sorry about that, guys. Just kind of fixing this up. Yeah, Warriors versus Celtics. Then the Knicks against the Hawks. That's also going to be a good game. Knicks at Hawks at Atlanta. I It could go either way, but I'm taking the Knicks on this one. Even though I'm inclined to take the Hawks just because they are in a little bit of a ramp, a good pace going up. Even though I believe they just took an L, but that's a really good game. Another game, Lakers versus Grizzlies. I think this one's a game to watch. That's right, Lakers versus Grizzlies. Lakers are coming out with a few wins. One last minute win against the Cavaliers. So the against the Grizzlies, they're going to both teams are playing fast, aggressive, dynamic with the Grizzlies and Jaw. So it's a good game. You don't want to miss it. You want to watch it. It's going to be entertaining, high scoring. Grizzlies take the W in this one just because Jaw and Bane are like playing insane. Spurs versus Rockets. Uh, it's a good game. Very dynamic. Also, game to watch. Again, leave a comment. Tell me what you think. I know it's shit right now, but we'll get it in there. Spurs versus Rockets are definitely a good game. Cavaliers Pelicans at 7 p.m. Bulls Mavericks. You're a Chicago fan. Something to look at. It's a really good. It's a game. Heat versus Suns. That's a game to watch as well. Thunder Nuggets. Thunders are gonna take it. Predictions: Spurs are gonna take it against the Rockets. Cavaliers against the Pelicans. Mavericks against the Bulls. Heat is gonna take it over the Suns. Thunder is gonna go over the. Actually, Nuggets are gonna beat Thunder, and they're unbeatable. I think that Russ is gonna show out. So yeah, this game, Thunder versus Nuggets. Nuggets taking the win. Raptors versus Kings are gonna take the win. 76ers versus the Clippers. This is a Pod PG game type of deal. It's gonna be a really tight game, but just based on how they're playing, 76ers are gonna take the win on this one. And that'll be all for today. Last game, again, game to watch. Warriors versus Celtics. And to me for the last 14, 10 minutes. This is your everyday pod. We're still kind of working on to get people on talking about the game after a game. Please like, subscribe, leave your comment below. Everything helps. We're trying to start this up. If you have any feedback in terms of what to do, what to change, and with the video, with this segment, I'll be more than happy to. Just for today, this is it. We're we're out. This has been Fan Zone Basketball Podcast.